Hello, I'm Joyce Burton-Titular, and you're watching Build Green Philippines. Today, we'll talk to the forerunners in sustainable building industry. They conceptualize, design, build, market, operate, and maintain development projects that contribute to the well-being of the environment, economy, and society. According to research, being sustainable is obtaining a quality that wouldn't harm the environment and requires long-term views for ecological balance. In the aspect of building development, how do we define sustainability?
Sustainability for me is really about our past, present, and future as mankind. I think we have done a lot of mistakes in the way we've lived as a race. Over the past few years, we've really done a lot of damage to the planet, and we've been very irresponsible in the way we've left our mark on this world. But we've also learned from those mistakes, and there's a lot of success stories of what we can do to mitigate those mistakes. And I think that brings us to the present, which is really about doing something today in order to ensure that our future, not only of our generation, but future generations, will be possible. And I think that's what sustainability is all about. It's about learning from our past and correcting our past mistakes by doing action today in order to ensure a future that is going to be better or just as good as the world we live in today for our children and their future children.
The concept of sustainability was coined by a commission of the United Nations called the Brundtland Commission, wherein it puts together the three components. So if you put social and environment together, it's bearable, meaning the resources support your society. Social and economic, that's equitable. You talk of how economic benefits are distributed to members of society. Sustainability is a concept that puts together all three. So it's not just about being viable, resources being bearable in terms of their interaction with society, and it's not just about equitability or distribution of the benefits of economies. It's about meeting all the three goals simultaneously. And that is what is sustainability.
Now we've learned that defining sustainability responds to the environment, economy, and society simultaneously. What element should we find in a building for us to know that the place we go to or live in is sustainable?
Depending on what the developer wants to pursue, there are so many different ways these buildings can, help push sustainability. There's use of water, conservation of use of water, minimizing the use of energy, using recycled materials, using healthy materials. When you talk about, quality of environment, one of the things also is the indoor air quality, indoor environment that people will be in these buildings. So that's also an important parameter.
Sustainable buildings usually incorporate the agenda of society and the environment even at the very planning stages. So they talk of designing it in a way that the impacts are minimized, or if there are impacts you cannot avoid. Of course, there are things you will never avoid. You cannot avoid. You have to dig through the soil, you have all this testing. When you do the construction phase, there's always pollution that will emanate from your project. So even that, if you cannot avoid that, they already identify at the planning stage mitigation or ways to address those impacts.
By slowly starting to do green projects, hopefully over time, new buildings and old buildings will start to be done in a green way. And that will definitely impact the lives of people, not just the environment at large, but especially those who will be using these buildings, those who will be living, working, studying, shopping in these different buildings. So I think that could be very, very powerful. It really is an inspiration of what we can do to minimize our impact on the environment.
The proper usage of these elements will definitely provide efficiency and comfort that can result in better productivity. If we continue to strive for sustainable buildings, what could possibly be the effect of this to the environment, economy, and society of the Philippines?
Because we believe green buildings is one of those few initiatives or movements where it's a win for everyone. If you can win as an owner developer, if your future users can win as locators or buyers or as shoppers or as hotel guests, if the environment can win because you're doing these in a way that minimizes the impact of the environment, if your community can benefit because you're coming up with structures that are not only nice to look at but it work well for the fabric of the community. And I think it's one of those unique opportunities for everybody to win. That's why I'm such a big believer in green building and sustainability, because I think it's something where everyone comes out a winner, everyone can be successful, and if we can find more ways that we can all win together rather than having a set of winners and losers, I think that's really much better for our future. I think we can really make a big impact to society when we not only talk about green buildings, but green communities, green neighborhoods, green cities, eventually a green country.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to visit our website. Just click on the links found on the screen. This is Joyce Burton-Titular, your host from Build Green Philippines.